basically since 1948, since the reformation of the State of Israel.
I like that you said that.
Right.
Reformation, the modern state of Israel.
The
right?
modern state,
Jewish
obviously,
state.
it goes back a lot before that. Although some people would have us believe otherwise. But there has not been an official visit by a member of the royal family since that time. But in that time, senior members of the royal family have done official visits to Saudi Arabia, to Iraq, to Iran, to Jordan, to Egypt, to numerous other countries in this region, but not to Israel. Why? Because the British Foreign Office has made a deliberate policy to prevent it happening.
Yeah.
My problem this year with it is that this is the centenary anniversary of a couple of major events, one of which is the Balfour Declaration, which led eventually to the creation of the State of Israel. And I should point out on that Balfour Declaration, President Abbas, the head of the PA, has asked Britain to apologise for the Balfour Declaration. I think we should apologise for the Balfour Declaration. But the apology should be because we failed to ensure that it was implemented as quickly and as effectively and as comprehensively as we promised to do back in 1917. That's the apology we should make. I don't think Israel needs a royal visit. Israel doesn't need the endorsement of a visit by the British royal family. It would be nice, I'm sure, for many people. It doesn't need that. But Britain needs to do it because Britain needs to show the world that it's not discriminating against a country like Israel, because currently it looks very much as if it is. You know, Israel is a great country. It's the only democracy in the Middle East. It is one of the most flourishing, prosperous, energetic countries in the world, which has achieved so much under so much pressure, not just military pressure, but also bullying and harassment from organisations like the United Nations, the European Union, and other Western countries. It's achieved such a huge amount. It doesn't need endorsement by our royal family. And it isn't. Britain is not biased against Israel. Britain and Israel cooperate on so many levels: intelligence, military technology, battlefield medical technology. There are British soldiers alive today because their lives have been saved in Iraq and Afghanistan and elsewhere by Israeli battlefield medical technology. British military operations have been made more effective by British drone technology, counter-IED, counter-bomb technology, all of these things. And the intelligence relationship between Britain and Israel is among the closest in the world. The other anniversary, of course, that we've got this year is the anniversary of the liberation of Jerusalem from the Turkish Ottoman Empire by British Commonwealth forces led by General Allenby, which took place towards the end of 1917 after serious battles going on around Gaza, Beersheba, etc., involving British, Australian, New Zealand and other Commonwealth forces, which resulted in the death of 16,000 British and Commonwealth troops here in what was previously called Palestine. And every other major campaign in the First World War during the centenary years has been recognised, and the dead from those campaigns honoured by attendance of senior members of the royal family. For example, in Gallipoli in 2015, the 100th anniversary of the invasion of Gallipoli in 1915, the honouring of the British war dead and the British Empire war dead then was led by Prince Charles and Prince Harry. Every other major anniversary, every other major centenary of the First World War is being honoured in that way in countries that can be accessed. Obviously, there are countries like Syria where there are British war dead. They can't go there.
Right.
But they can come here, but they're not coming. There's no plan to come here. So my aim is to try and encourage the Prime Minister of Great Britain to overrule the Foreign Office ban and ensure that the homage to our dead is led by Prince Charles, Prince Harry, senior members of the royal family. And by doing that, it would obviously show that we have the same respect for those 16,000 killed here as we have for those killed in France, Gallipoli, etc. But also it would show that Britain is not discriminating against the great state of Israel. I think anybody who is watching this who's in a position to do so, and I'm really talking mainly about British citizens, should contact their MPs, their members of Parliament, and ask them to encourage the Prime Minister to overrule the Foreign Office in this case, and perhaps non-British citizens could make representations to the British embassies in maybe in Tel Aviv. Of course, the British embassy should be in Jerusalem, but it's in Tel Aviv.
Right.
Or British embassies in other countries, and make the point this is something that should be happening.